Hello! This video is going to be the scariest things tag, and I thought this would be a good tag to film because it is coming up to Halloween. Like, it's October what? October the 12th, so it is coming up to Halloween, but I didn't want to film a Halloween tag just yet because I have two Halloween tags coming up because I love a good Halloween tag. Went on a website and typed in YouTube tags because I love, like, tags are like my favourite video to film, and I know they can get boring. I love filming tag videos. So I went on a site and I found lots, like I found like 100 tags, so I have a lot of tags coming up, but I found this one, so I thought it'd be a good idea just to film this one because it is coming up to Halloween, as I've said. So yeah, it only has 7 questions, but some of my answers will be quite lengthy because I have to read off a few like internet articles and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm just gonna get on with it. Question 1, scariest real life experience. I don't really put myself in situations that I get scared, but the one thing I can think about is when I was in a car crash when I was really young. I was about 5 or 6. It was me, my mum and my mum's partner at the time, and it was really icy. It was about December time. The roads were icy, it was pitch black, and when we got in this car accident the car spun and spun and spun and spun and spun. So that was scary on its own because we didn't know where the car was going to stop. And where we used to live there was like a big patch of water. Like, it's basically, is it the ocean? It leads to some sort of big water, so it is really deep, and where we lived at the end of our road, that's where it was, and it never used to have fences on it, so it was just literally you can go right over. Because I remember when I was young I was riding my bike and I skidded my bike just in time. My back wheel was hanging off the edge into this water, so I had that in my head. So I thought, where are we going to end up? Is the car going to end up in the water? So that was obviously scaring me, and plus I was so young and it was icy and I'd never been in a car accident before, so I would say that is the scariest real life experience in my life. Question 2, the scariest paranormal experience. I believe in paranormal activity to the highest degree. My nan used to be so passionate about like ghost hunting, going to graveyards, staying in haunted houses. So I believe in all that because I used to spend a lot of time with my nan when I was younger because my mum worked, so I would always be with my nan and she was always talking about things like that, and I really I loved it as well. So paranormal experiences don't really scare me because I really haven't had a bad paranormal experience yet, but some people might find this scary because when I told my mum, she freaked out. Not long after my nan died, I was sleeping in my bed, over here. I was sleeping and something woke me up out of a dream. I looked to the side of me, and then when I looked, as soon as I looked, it was like a split second, there was a black shadow that just like fell to the ground and then disappeared obviously. And normally that would scare me, but the way I was thinking, I thought that's just my nan watching over me when I'm sleeping, so it didn't really scare me, but some people might find that scary. So yeah, that would be my scariest paranormal experience. Question 3, have you ever known anyone convicted of a violent crime? Yes. Question 4, are you afraid of the dark? Why or why not? I would say yes. I never used to be, but like over the last few years I've been scared of the dark. Like even at home I will have to like take my phone torch or put a light on when I'm going to the toilet during the night. I hate walking anywhere in the dark. Like even if I'm with people, I hate it. Like normally, even if I'm walking in the dark, I will have my torch on. I don't think it's actually the dark, I think it's what's in the dark, not being able to see clearly and see like what is right in front of me. So I think that's why I don't like the dark very much. Question 5, does your hometown have any scary stories or legends? Yes, the one I can think about is like 5 minutes away from my town, so I'm going to read it out. This might be a lengthy part to the video, but I really want to read it out to you. It's called the Socky Poltergeist. Socky Poltergeist, and Socky is like literally, it's not even 5 minutes away from where I stay. Like I stay right at the end of Alloa, so I can literally walk out my house, walk 2 minutes and I'm in Socky, so it is really close to my house. And I'm going to say the names because this did happen quite a while ago. So yeah, and it is online, so it doesn't really matter if I'm saying the names or not. So yeah, I'm going to start. The events as they happened. The Sawkey poltergeist effectively began back in November 1960 when an 11-year-old girl by the name of Virginia Campbell came to Scotland with her family, leaving behind family and friends from a small village of Moville in Donegal, Ireland. Virginia's mother Annie had come to Sawkey to live with her married older brother and his wife at a house in Park Crescent, Sawkey. Virginia was an attractive girl with blonde hair and sparkling blue eyes. As with any young child leaving behind their family and friends and moving to a strange place, Virginia was at first most unhappy but at the same time accepted that her parents wanted the best for her, as this move was also a bigger move for the rest of her family. The first few weeks were fine and trouble-free, but soon the peace was broken by numerous scratching noises which came from various parts of the house, noises that no family member could account for. However, as the weeks progressed and the strange noises increased in intensity and proved quite unsettling. As if the noises were not bad enough, the family noticed that various household items would disappear, only to return at a later date. Ornaments would move on their own accord with no one near them. But probably the most unsettling and terrifying occurrence during these early weeks was when the furniture started to move around the living room on their own volition. And various doors throughout the house would open and close when no one was near them. Things were steadily getting worse and the nerves of all family members were getting frayed by every minute. Soon word was spreading about the haunted house in Sawkey and being a relatively small village at the time, quite a few people were getting to know about it. Back in the family home, things were getting even worse and a large and heavy linen chest was seen to rise several inches off the floor and its lid seemed to open and remain open for a short period of time, then slammed down quite violently. It soon became apparent that when all the events occurred, Virginia was in the house at the time. When she was out, all was quiet and peaceful, and it therefore began to dawn on the family that these events must somehow be associated with Virginia's presence. One day at school, Virginia's teacher looked up from her desk and saw Virginia struggling with the desk lid. Virginia had both elbows trying to force down her desk lid, which seemed to have a mind of its own. She said at once, "Virginia, what are you doing?" To which Virginia replied, "Nothing, Miss Honest." "Stop that at once, Virginia," the teacher replied, and as soon as Virginia took her elbows from the desk lid was flapping up and down. The screams of Virginia's classmates resounded throughout the room as Virginia's teacher looked on open-mouthed in disbelief. I think I might make a complete separate video on this. It's not really what kind of videos I make on my channel, but this is really interesting and there's so much to read, so I think I might make a complete separate video to this because there's on this website there is a lot of like input from different people, like the teacher, our friends, and like different people. So if you're interested in it, like go read up on the Sawkey poltergeist. Question 6. What is your favourite urban legend? Okay, this one, the light. Returning to her dorm room during finals week, a college girl decides to leave the lights off so that she doesn't wake her sleeping roommate. In the morning, she discovers her roommate has been murdered, and scrawled onto the wall is a note written in blood which reads, "Aren't you glad you didn't turn on the light?" Now that scares the shit out of me because 1, I'm scared of the dark, so I would always turn a light on, and 2, just to think that like someone else is where you sleep, someone else is in your house that you didn't invite in, or like your family didn't invite in. I think that is one of the most scariest things ever. The next one, don't answer the phone. This popular narrative has been used in movies and stories for years. In it, a babysitter answers the phone only to hear either heavy breathing or a voice asking her to check on the sleeping children. The caller calls back several times before the babysitter alerts the police, who trace the call. The final time he calls, the police call her back and tell her the call is coming from inside the house. In most versions, the children are already dead. Again, someone else in your house phoning you from somewhere in your house. It's just so scary. This one freaked me out. I didn't really have a favourite. The only one I really knew of was Bloody Mary, and that's not a favourite, that doesn't scare me. So I looked up on these before doing this tag, and oh my god, this one creeps me out. The dead dog. In this horrifying tale, a child is awakened by the dripping of a faucet. She turns it off and lies back down, letting her arm drape over the bed, as that was her habit so her dog could lick her fingers. This scene repeats itself several times until she realises the dripping isn't from the faucet. Eventually she discovers the source is her dead dog hidden in a cabinet or a shower or somewhere else. I've read a few of these, and in one of them the dog's hanging and the dripping is the blood. And then she finds a note that reads, "Humans can lick too." And the last question is, what is your scariest nightmare? Oh, this is a dream that I can remember so vividly. When I was about like 3 or younger than 3, I had a nightmare. So I used to have bunk beds, and I used to be able, like, I would sleep at the opposite end where my door was. So my door would like be here and my head would be here. Like, obviously the bunk bed would be in between us, so I could literally peek over my bunk bed and look out the door to see who was coming up the stairs. Where the landing was, the loft was just here. In the dream, when I done that, the loft was open and there was a blue and white man, and it was like very pale blue, like grey, like old man, long beard, and he had like this evil face on him. I don't know if I'd been watching something with someone like that in it, but he was just looking down, and I can remember screaming. I can remember that scared the shit out of me for life. I never looked onto the landing over my bed over the door again. So yeah, that is my scariest things tag. I need to go watch like cartoons or something now because I'm kind of freaked myself out with what I've just read, and plus it is 12:10 at night. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this scary tag, and I will see you in my next one.